Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. All right. Just give it 2 minutes and then we can quickly start. Hi, Nelson.
Hi, Irene.
All right. Good to see you.
See you too. Thanks.
All right. Good. Okay. I can't quite see because I'm presenting, but of course, good evening, everyone. Nelson, I think we can start recording. Welcome to this session. We are really excited to have you on board. We've had quite a number of people asking about PDUs and how do we earn them now that they've finished doing the exams and they've now been certified, who is eligible, and all those kind of things. So I won't go into the content, but karibuni sana. We're really glad to have you on board. Please use the chat feature to ask any questions, and I'll try and moderate as Ephraim goes through the deck. So Ephraim, I think I can quickly hand it over to you, and you can guide me on how you want us to follow with the slides. Ephraim?
Thank you, Irene. Good evening, team. My name is Ephraim Kakui. I'm a trained construction project manager by profession and also a PMP certified. And it's really delighting to have you on board this evening as we discuss on ways of earning professional development units after certification. The presentation that I'm going to do is not my own creation. It is actually say like an excerpt from the PMI website, but really just to guide us on how we can be able to continue earning the professional developments. So perhaps, Irene, you can go to the next slide. Irene, next. Yeah. So the content, the table of content, basically we have the introduction. We would like to know what are PDUs, and then the categories of PDUs, and then we're going also to discuss how you can be able to earn their education PDUs, their giving back to profession PDUs. Then we're also going to discuss on the PDU requirements for the different PMI certifications. Then also, we're also going to briefly show you how we can be able to check your PDUs on the CCRS, and then also how to report the PDUs on the CCRS. And at some point, I'm also going to give Stephanie a chance to give us a guide on volunteering, which is one of the ways of earning PDUs. Next slide, Irene. Next. So the introduction, I think those who have been certified, they know that it is quite exciting as a big step when you get your certification. To some, it is easy, but some is also challenging, especially the examination. And so once you got the certification, which is a big pride, then now maintaining it should not be such a difficult thing. And through the PMI, we have the Continuing Certification Requirements Program. It's designed so that people can be able to grow and develop the skills that organizations are seeking. And this is also a way of helping those that have been certified to maintain their certification status. And this is achieved by now what we are calling professional development units, in short, PDUs. And so earning a professional development units poses a challenge to many. I think in a world like today, where we have the fast-paced life, job engagements and other commitments, so we find that people tend to forget or even to make little time, or even sometimes they have a challenge in knowing how to earn the professional development units. And that's why under the VP education, we under the Career and Development Committee, we came up with this so that we can be able to help the members of PMI Kenya on how they can be able to earn the PDUs to continue their certification. Next slide. So we would like to understand what really are the professional development units. Next slide, Irene. So professional development units, they are like 1 hour blocks of time that you spend learning, teaching others, or volunteering. And when you're accumulating these and tracking all the hours that you've earned over a period of 3 years, you can be able to maintain your certification on the PMI's website. You will, as you'll see later, the different certifications have different PDU requirements, and so once you understand your certification, you're able to be able to track how many PDUs you are earning over the period of 3 years for you to get recertified. We have 2 categories of professional development units, and one of them is the one category is education. We are going to discuss this further next, but this can be earned through professional seminars, webinars like what you're having today, also doing some classes, and even some self-directed learning. And then there's another category which is called the giving back to the profession. And these ones are they are the PDUs that are earned on time spent while volunteering, or mentoring, or working with professional groups, and many other ways of giving back to the society, to the profession. So now we are going to get to now breaking down under each category the different ways of earning PDUs under the education, and also under the giving back to the profession. So under the how we can be able to earn PDUs, and that's the education based. We have one, course training, and these are instructor-led formal education courses or classes held in person or online. They can be face-to-face. They can be instructor-led courses, even from the PMI seminar world. We can also have e-learning on demand courses. Sometimes even attending webinars, you can also have that are put on demand. Then you can also have academic education through programs accredited by PMI Global Accreditation Center. There are some of my friends who've told me that as a easy way of getting PDUs, if they are lagging behind, you find that they decide to just go to an academic education accreditation, and they're able to earn their PDUs. And there's also training courses offered by PMI, others training providers. And then we have also courses from other third-party providers which are acceptable to PMI. The next one is next slide. Next slide, Irene. Organization meetings. Like what we're having today, PMI Global meetings, we have activities and also local events related to the profession. We have normally, of late, we have the PMI monthly events, which are also a great opportunity. And basically, because we say there are hourly, one block hourly meetings, that you are able to earn like 1 or 2 PDUs per session. I think today's event is going to earn you 1 professional development unit. And we have educational sessions. Then we have the online or digital marketing, digital media. Sorry, Irene, you go slowly. Thank you. So under the online or digital media, we have the self-paced learning conducted online through varied forms of digital media. And under PMI, the sources that are recommended. We have the projectmanagement.com, and also we have the e-learning on-demand courses. So when you log into projectmanagement.com, there are different opportunities for you to be able to earn PDUs. And when you log in, you look at the different different courses. You will be able to see whether a training or a learning is going to earn you some professional development units. Next. Irene, next slide. Reading. Yes, so that one is reading. For those that love reading, you can have self-directed reading relevant to certification. You would, and this goes towards claiming and earning your professional development units. And PMI offers these resources under the PMI store, which is under the PMI website. And then also we have the projectmanagement.com. There you can also be able to get materials that you can be able to read. Next slide. Then we have informal learning. And so you can also earn PDUs by engaging in structured professional discussions with others. For example, mentoring or share and learn sessions. At PMI Kenya, we've had several share and learn sessions where people are invited to share their experiences on the different professions or on different trends in the project management. So if you're able to share these, you can, or maybe mentoring. Like for instance, I've been involved in mentoring some students in the construction project management sector, and whatever the hours that I spent mentoring these students, I normally claim them towards my certification as PDUs. Next. So the second category of earning PDUs is the giving back to the profession. And we are going to see the ones that fall under this category. The first one, Irene, next slide, please. So the first one is working as a practitioner. And by working in your certified role, you can earn PDUs by applying your knowledge and skills and in a practical manner. So every time you get involved in aspects that are, if it is PMP certification, that are related to project management, that are related to program management, portfolio management, agile certified practitioner, you're able to earn PDUs that can be able to help you retain your certification. So that is one of the ways as a ways of giving back. The next one is when you create content. For those of us who love writing articles or blogs, giving webinars, making videos, that can also go a long way in earning new PDUs, and you can be able to share these even through the PMI Kenya chapter. And then also there's also today's world is full of digital content, and whatever you create can be counted towards your recertification. I think with COVID, there's been a lot of people turning into the digital way, so that is a way of earning your PDUs. There's also giving a presentation like what I am doing today. If you speak at your organization or a PMI chapter event like this one, or in a conference, you can claim PDUs for that. Next slide. And then there's also sharing of knowledge. So you can benefit people that other people can benefit from your experience and knowledge. And this can be, structured forums like if you're going to speak to students maybe in the university, you can be able to share knowledge and experience, and that is a way you can also be able to earn PDUs. And also, keeping track of the time that you spend on mentoring and teaching, you can claim it towards your recertification. The next slide. The next one is volunteering. PMI is just one of the many organizations that relies on volunteers, and volunteer opportunities are posted on the VRM MS page in the PMI website. And then you can learn more about volunteering the by visiting this page. But because we have our the VP in charge of volunteers, who is Stephanie, I think I will invite her so it can be able to just to give us some more insights about volunteering and PMI Kenya and also PMI International. Stephanie, if you can hear me, you can kindly take over. Give the next few minutes.
Thanks, Ephraim. So you can see very well on this slide that there is this VRMS, PMI.org. That is the place where you need to get active in order to get chances to volunteer. What is volunteerism? PMI's work is largely done by volunteers, and that includes individuals that aim to do these things listed here: enhance the profession of project management, reap the benefits of expanding connections, and leverage career advancement opportunities. Now, in my career as volunteer, I've been volunteering since 2014. I have actually reaped benefits of all of these 3 points. The amazing thing is the network that you get to know, and then also the opportunities that you're getting to learn more and to experience new skills. So I can only recommend volunteering. Irene, click.
I think my screen is taking long to refresh. So I'm
Don't
clicking,
worry.
it's taking a bit of time. Yeah, good.
Yeah. PMI is actually built by volunteers and around volunteers, and we'll go into that on one of the next slides. But PMI is only existing in the way it is existing these days. Sorry, go back. Thanks to volunteers. At the moment, we have about over 10,000 volunteers worldwide that are running PMI. And that includes even the board of directors. They're also volunteers. They're not paid for their work, but they're volunteering their time. And of course, the chapters are run by volunteers. Bigger chapters may have a permanent employee, but the chapter boards are definitely volunteers. And then, of course, there is all the volunteers that make things happen. Okay, next slide. I hope you can see that. It's a little bit faint, but this is now the way the org chart of PMI looks like. So on the top, you have the PMI board of director. As I said, these are volunteers that are elected. And then you also have the PMI EF, which is the educational foundation, which is like project management for social good. Now, if you look on the left side, you see a number of committees. These are actually senior volunteers that are advising the board of directors. Usually, in order to land the volunteer position in those committees, you have to have volunteered before, and you have to have shown that you have what it takes to volunteer and sit on these boards. And there is a very strict vetting that goes on. Then there is the other sector where you now have the chapters, and then you have the PMI president and chief executive CEO. And under that, you have the management and staff who are basically working under the volunteers and around the volunteers, supporting them. The way Nelson is supporting us in our chapter, not just for the events, but for a lot of other things as the chapter administrator for the Region 16. And there is several other offices all over the world, including the headquarters in Philadelphia, where you have full-time employees that are there to support the work of PMI. Under them, you have now the member advisory groups. And if you look at it, and the member advisory groups have very similar topics and titles as the ones that you find on the left that are the board advisory groups. And this is where a lot of the things happen that we see as members of PMI. Like we have the Professional Awards Member Advisory Group that arrange the Professional Awards events and direct the groups that are doing the selection of who wins the awards. Then there is the Ethics Members Advisory Group, which has several responsibilities, where some of it is to travel and visit the chapters and help them understand what ethics is all about. They have also created the ethics toolkit to help members understand what we need to do with the PMI code of ethics, and also any ethical issues that are reported to PMI are being handled by them. Then you have the region mentors. They also have a very important function because they actually mentor the chapter teams in the region and help them fully align with PMI and also help out issues. So these are different places where people can volunteer internationally. But there's also countless opportunities in all the international events, whether it's the Africa conference or it's the EMEA Congress or the Global Conference. Even in the in a lot of the learning events where people can learn more about project management, there is volunteers involved, and you can actually get involved in a lot of these things. I have, for example, not just volunteered in the Kenya chapter, but I've also volunteered in the region in several different positions. I've been involved in the Africa conference in the selection of who will speak and helping the speakers prepare their presentations. And there's really exciting positions. Next slide. Now, within the Kenya chapter, we also have a lot of opportunities for volunteering. This is a simple org chart. And you see there is the president in the top, in the middle. There is a position that is currently not nominated, and that is the immediate past president. That is, for example, if the current president now retires from the position and somebody else is elected, then this president will become the immediate past president. He's no longer a voting member of the committee, but he is an advisor because he has experience with PMI and the PMI Kenya chapter. And then we have the president-elect and all the other board members. But what you will see is under each board member, you have a team. And that's where you guys can come in and start volunteering. And then, of course, you can also, during elections, stand for board positions. Even the two orange ones up there, which is the PMI EF liaison, she has quite a big team of volunteers and can always use more. And then there is also the Director Special Projects who works closely with the president. And he will also be advertising positions for volunteers soon. Right now we have two slots in one position open, but I will be posting new positions before the end of the week. And so just keep your eyes open. We post all the positions on the VRMS so that everybody has the same chance of applying for them. And then we go through a vetting process and possibly we do interviews if required. And then people get informed whether they have gotten the position or not. Next slide. You can click again. So the VRMS, the Volunteer Resource Management System, is where you find all your positions, both local and international. And all our positions will be advertised there. So it's good if you learn how to use it. Click again, Irene. As I said, we already have several teams that are building up. We have the president's docket, the secretary docket, the membership docket, volunteers docket, and others that may follow throughout the year. So I'll show you in a minute how you can do that on the VRMS to mark that you get information every time there is a position open for the Kenya chapter. Yeah, click again. So as I said, keep a lookout for new positions. Next slide. Up there is the web link again. It's vrmspmi.org. And on that page, you go to your dashboard. And as you see on my screenshot, there is that place where the arrow is pointing where it says volunteer. And that's where you click to look for opportunities. Next slide. The other important place in your profile is also that you indicate your areas of interest, as the arrow shows there. If you click on the link there, it will give you a long list of interests that you can indicate, and one of them is then the Kenya chapter. and that will determine which notifications you get by email. The other thing you can do on your profile is you can attach your CV. A lot of the volunteer applications require you to attach your CV, and it's the easiest if you just attach it here on your VRMS profile, and then you can simply click and say, I want that CV to be used. Good, next slide. So now the big question, how do we get PDUs for volunteering? If you are one of our regular volunteers, we will start uploading PDUs for you per year. And I'll explain that just now. Click, Erin. In your 3-year certification cycle, you can have up to 25 PDU for giving back. That comes to about 8 per year. Click again. And that's why we have decided to give you 8 PDUs per year for your volunteering if you're an active volunteer. And of course, here are the other things that Ephraim had already talked about. You can create knowledge, you can write articles, presentations, mentoring, etc. If you need more details on how to do that, you can feel free to reach out to us. I have claimed PDUs for articles before and for presentations definitely, and it's really quite easy. And then, as I said, if you are a regular volunteer, we will give you 8 PDUs per year. So most of all, let's also have fun together as we're volunteering. I told you I have learned a lot as a volunteer, and we also have some colleagues that specifically stood for positions that were challenging them to learn new skills. Like I remember we had somebody who was standing as a vice president, marketing and communication, because he wanted to learn skills in that area. And other things is also to get to know new people. I had somebody reach out to me last week asking me how she can get into regional positions because she wants to get a new network and learn more to get learn to know or get to know more people from the region. Yeah, that's all I have to say about volunteering for today. And I hand back over to Ephraim.
Thank you, Stephanie, for that informing presentation about volunteering. Personally, this is my first year of volunteering, and I must admit that there is a lot to learn. I've learned so much from the committee that I'm working in and the leadership of Abdul, and it's great. So I would also encourage those that are willing to join in the volunteering. So now I'm going to take you through the PDU requirements for the various PMI certifications. The next slide, Irene. So I have summarized these as shown on the screen. We have the PMP certification. We have 60 PDUs. I'll be giving further explanations in the subsequent slides. We have the program management professional, 60 PDUs. Portfolio management professional, 60 PDUs. We have professional in the business analysis, 60 PDUs. Certified Associate Project Management Professional, we have 15 PDUs. We have the PMI, the accredited Agile Certified Practitioner. We have the Risk Management Practitioner. Then there's a Scheduling Practitioner. Those ones are annual. 30. You require 30 PDUs in a period of 3 years. So the following slides, I'm going to explain on each. So in this slide, we have the PMP, we have the program management, portfolio management, and then professional in business analysis. You require 60 PDUs in the cycle of 3 years. And these PDUs are further broken down as below. We have 35, a minimum of 35 PDUs in education, as I explained the different categories, and then 25, a maximum of 25 in giving back. And I think Stephanie has explained this. So under the education, there are also other categories. We have the technical, we have the leadership, we have the strategic and business management categories, and then under the giving back, where we have 8 minimum of 8 and a maximum, I think, of 17. We have working as a professional, and then volunteering, you can see it as a 17, up a minimum of 17. That is volunteering and creating knowledge. So once you've earned this in the 3 years, you're able to earn your certification. The next slide. So the other category is holders of certified associate project management professional certification. This one, they require 15 PDUs in a 3-year cycle, and these PDUs are broken down into a minimum of 9 PDUs under the education, and then a maximum of 6 and the giving back. So you'll notice that the PMI emphasizes more on the education, because you have them are more PDUs. Like the minimum is 9, so you can earn as many as you can. The next one is the PMI. We have the Agile Certified Practitioner, Risk Management Professional, and then the Scheduling Professional. You require 30 PDUs in a cycle of 3 years, and then you require a minimum of 18 under the education category and 12 under the giving back to the profession. And then you can see from the slides on the side on the right, we have under the technical leadership, strategic and business management, we have 4 each, and then the others are broken. We have 4 and 8. Next slide, Irene. So now, just like Stefan explained how you can be able to apply for volunteering. Also going to explain to you how you can be able to report your PDUs. So again, you log into pmi.org, and then under my PMI, the way the arrows are going, you click on the certifications, and then under my certifications, you'll be able to see that the number of PDUs that you've earned in that period, and they're also broken down. We have the education, we have the giving back, and then how many are required, and then also the deadline for renewal for your next cycle. So that is how you check your PDUs under the CCRS. And then now the next is also how to report your PDUs on the CCRS. Again, you go back to pmi.org, and then you log into your account, and then on the dashboard, you see from the arrow, you can be able, you see that there's where we have the report PDUs, and then now that gives you the different categories under the education, giving back. So depending on what category you've earned the PDU, you report on that, and then now you get a confirmation on how that your PDUs have been accepted or declined. You can also check whether how many have been accepted, how many have been declined, the total number of PDUs that have been reported. All that you can be able to check from the dashboard under the certification registry. Last slide. So basically, I think that is what we heard about today regarding the ways of earning PDUs. And I think more you can be able to access this on under the PMI website. Irene, last slide. So thank you so much for the opportunity to give us this guide on how you can be able to earn PDUs. And at this point, I would like to hand it over back to Irene to maybe take over the question and answer session. Irene, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Ephraim. I think I've seen a couple of questions. So Robert is asking, how do we claim PDUs for mentoring? I know Steph mentioned it, but it's under where? Under education? For mentoring, Ephraim or Steph?
Mentoring is under giving back.
It's under giving back. Okay. So Robert, mentoring is under giving back. Let me just actually wanted to see if I can log in and see. And then there's Lee who's asking, do project management research work count towards PDUs? Ephraim?
Yes, it does, because you're creating it's part of learning. So you should be able to it is part of learning. So you should be able to claim PDUs on that. And maybe Stephanie has been doing this for quite some time. She can also maybe she can give some more insight on that, or even Nelson, who is also in.
Yeah, basically, I think one thing we just need to remember is when you claim a PDU, then if it's not from a PMI event or done, the uploading is done directly by PMI, PMI may come and ask you to provide evidence. That's why even when you are creating knowledge or you are teaching or things like that, you have to give details of where you're doing that so that they can contact either them or they come back to you to provide the evidence. But it's not difficult, yeah? Like, for example, when I was claiming PDU for an article, I put the link of the article, the web link, and within a day it was actually accepted because they could check and see the article there, and I hadn't claimed 20 hours for preparing one article. So you have to be realistic in it. And when you're giving a talk somewhere, then you just give the details of the place where you're giving the talk, maybe a web link if it's there, or you can even put a link to the advert for the event or things like that. For mentoring, I have not claimed myself. I know Efrain has done it, but it follows a similar procedure. And if PMI wants to ask about it, then they may reach out to the mentee. So it's good if you let your mentee know that you're claiming a PDU for it. Ephraim, maybe you can explain your experience, how you have been claiming PDUs.
Yes, that's the same way you've explained that when you're reporting PDUs for mentoring, you have to give the information. One thing about PMI is that they uphold professionalism and professional ethics, and so whatever you report on must be able, you should be able to support with the information that you've done. So if you're claiming for mentoring, you log in and then you give the information, maybe the names of the students, the contacts, or maybe an email, they could contact them. I've also participated in things like judging in students' competitions, and I gave a detail of the session, the period it took, and I claimed it within a day. The PDUs had been approved. So as Stephanie has said, it is not difficult to report, provided you can be able, whatever you're reporting, you should be able to have any backing, supporting information. Thank you.
Thanks, Ephraim. There's a question about do other CPD events organized by other institutions such as EBK, AAK, IQSK, etc. count as PDUs? Ephraim, I think that one you can take because I know you have those kind of events.
Personally, I've not claimed PDUs from CPD events, like for I'm a member of Association of Construction Managers of Kenya, and there was a discussion that we're having a while back about whether some of those events can be able to claim, but really, personally, I've not claimed that. It is something that maybe we can pursue and see, you can confirm whether that can be, it is acceptable.
Actually, I know that in some other chapters, similar things are happening where they make an agreement with another professional organization. And as you sign up for the event, then you put your PMI number as well, your ID. And then the information is forwarded to the chapter and the chapter uploads. But that would need us to get into a formal agreement. However, I remember I have claimed, because I wanted to try it out, a PDU for the SCMK event I attended. And again, it was accepted without a problem since SCMK is a recognized institution and it's visible. And I had put the relevant information in my claim. And then, of course, they could have called SCMK to confirm whether I was actually there. Next question.
Yes, thanks, Steph. There is a question about is volunteering limited to PMI? A member may be volunteering in in community public institution on pro bono basis in an assignment involving application of the PM skills. So I think the question is, you've explained volunteering within PMI, but is there an option to earn PDUs by volunteering outside of PMI?
Actually, it's something I haven't thought about, but if it involves PM skills and you have the proof, I think it should be possible. Nelson, do you have a comment on that?
And Nelson, are you there?
Sorry, could you say that again?
This is a question about claiming PDU for volunteering outside of PMI, but you are using your PM skills.
Okay, so mostly the PDUs that are offered for volunteering are mainly for opportunities that are within PMI. I'm not certain that the team will be able to approve anything that is outside PMI yet. What I have seen being approved is PDUs that have been gained from other events that are not in PMI. That can work. But for volunteering that is outside, volunteering for any organization that is outside PMI, I'm not certain it would be, I'm not confident it would be approved yet. Yeah.
Irene, do we have more questions?
No, I was actually checking if there's any other question, but I wanted to see if I can quickly show you my dashboard, because I kind of, I think I saw someone saying they've managed to finish their PDUs early, and then it passed on. So it moved on. So my cycle actually ends in August, actually. Wow. But I have a lot more PDUs. Okay, so I've already finished the PDUs that I need to collect for this cycle. But if you see right here on your right, there's a place that says, see what PDUs apply to my next cycle. And it actually allows me to carry over stuff. Okay, so don't stop, is my point, right? Don't stop to collect PDUs, because now I already have 20 PDUs, so I'm not worried about it for the next couple of, I already have 20. So my cycle that ends in 2024, I already have enough to carry over. So carrying over is actually a thing. However, it will be the system that determines what is carried over. So just keep adding and keeping them. So now it buys me a bit of time in case I do not have time, or I notice I have a window where I can collect as many PDUs as possible. Then now it's just easy to roll them over. Yeah, but all this is in my PMI. Just log in, play around with it. I think Steph had mentioned how that looks like. He's shown you the profile, and we will just keep supporting you. I know some of you have noticed we changed roles, and we now added Steph to help us work this through. But it's because we feel volunteering is a very big opportunity for you to not only earn PDUs, but to learn very, very important skills that you may not necessarily have the opportunity to do at your day job. So, take advantage of some of these opportunities. They are very important. They help with learning stuff. I did not be running events, and that is definitely not what I do for my day-to-day. We've done a lot of mentorships, a lot of sessions, and it's been an amazing time, right? Yeah, don't even, even just being a board member. Anyone literally can be a board member, as long as you have the heart for it and you have the passion to do it. So it's not like, it's there for me or, people who are known. It's really a question of, do you want to do this? And do you want to give your time to the organization? All right. So I'll just...
Maybe, sorry,
yeah,
Irene, can I just add something to the carrying forward? As you can see, she had 20 hours that have been, or 20 PDU that have been carried forward. That is the maximum you can carry forward into the next cycle. And if you look at how they are distributed, you can see there are 8 for technical, 6 for leadership, 6 for strategic business. And she didn't carry any of the workers' practitioner or giving back forward, because if you have attended actual sessions where you were learning new knowledge, PMI gives the preference to those PDUs. However, as she said, you can easily forward. I actually renewed my next cycle long before I had my end of the cycle was reached, and I have already fulfilled all the 60 PDUs, even so the cycle is only starting in August. I can see, Irene, we did our exam 2 years apart, 2 years apart, but on the same day.
Yes.
So once you get the hang of earning PDUs, it becomes really easy. And those resources that Ephraim talked about before, like projectmanagement.com. Projectmanagement.com is owned by PMI. It's the resource website. So you find most of the webinars are there on demand after there had been a live event. And then there is so many other things you can do to earn PDUs there. So it's really a lot of fun, and it's quite easy once you get the hang of it.
Thanks, Steph. We have 2 more questions. One from Dennis, who's asking how much time will be demanded from the volunteer if one volunteers in PMI. Steph, I think that one you can take.
Yeah, it depends on the position. We usually give an indication of how many hours per week or per month it will take. If it's a short-term engagement, like when you are the one who is reviewing the papers that have been submitted for a conference, it will tell you how many PDUs you will get in the application form, and it will tell you how many hours you are expected to work on it. And then usually about a month after you have finished your engagement, if you have completed it, you will get your PDUs.
Yes, and usually the volunteering is determined by the person who you're working for. I think Steph had shown you an organogram. So for example, the people who will work with Steph, she would be the one to know how much time you would put in and if you're actually putting them in, right? So again, we're trying to grow out the volunteering space. So just keep an eye out. I've seen a question about how soon the PDUs take to reflect. Usually it's really a process that I usually do with support of some guys. So once I upload, it's usually immediate. The challenge for me is usually just getting the time to do it. So usually I try to do it within a week of the event happening. A lot of times, because of the way guys register, I may get your number wrong. But usually if you let me know, I'll just quickly upload it for you. If you're eligible, it actually reflects immediately I upload. So within a week and a half, I should be able to upload them for you.
Just one comment on that as well, because
yeah.
I remember being in Irene's position. As you're filling your, as you're signing up for an event, do 2 things. A, put your names in the exact order that they are in your PMI profile. Because we've had situations where people have 4 different names and 2 are the ones that appear in the PMI profile, and for the registration they use the 2 other names. And the other thing is put your PMI ID, because then it becomes very easy for us to upload the PDUs. But if we don't have the names right and we don't have the PMI ID, becomes an uphill task. And if you're attending any PMI event, usually it's about 3 weeks. Big conferences, it can be up to 6 weeks before you get the PDUs.
Thanks, Steph. I've seen Cheryl's remark about if the volunteering is only restricted to PMI, we should check this. I think I'll just give this to Nelson to see what additional feedback we can get, Cheryl, on that approach. However, in terms of expansion of the PM profession to schools, there are actually specific programs around that, and I'm sure we'll be sharing those. In this year, there's a new program or product that we're trying to look at for schools and the younger generation. So, Cheryl, as soon as we have that information, I'll be able to share that with you. Rebecca is asking if you're a PM at work, can you use the results to claim PDUs? Yes. If you see here, it says work as practitioner, or you can only do 8 hours though. So work as practitioner, Rebecca, you can actually do 8 hours. But you can only do 8 hours in one cycle, so you can't do too many. So work is just one section. Yutsav asks how soon we will claim the PDUs. I will send this out this weekend, so probably by Monday you should have them. Same question on practitioner. So, Steph, for claiming the PDU when you're a practitioner, is there any evidence we need? I've never seen I need to put in evidence, but for working as a practitioner, should I try?
Just try it out, but I don't think I had any problems when I did that.
Yeah,
And
I think it just has to
as long as your profile is updated in PMI.org, you will also have there who you're working for. And if they have any questions, PMI will reach out to you.
Yeah. Okay, Sherry. So I think that you should be okay. You actually made me think about it. So I'm gonna keep trying as as I try to answer the questions. Stephen is asking, how can one determine the number of PDUs to claim? I recently added a 10-week course in M&D, putting 8 hours per week. Ephraim, would you want to answer that one? How do we determine the number of PDUs to claim? Stephen says he put in 10-week. He did a 10-week course, putting in 8 hours per week. So it's in essence it's 80 hours, right? So how would we do that one?
Wow, that one. Because you see now we say the PDUs, they're like 1 hour block. When we talk about 80 hours, that one is also for me. Is also I am maybe you can see guidance from Nelson on that. How can be able to claim that?
All right, Nelson, what do you think?
If you can.
Yeah. So normally for it's always 1 PDU per hour. That's the general guideline on the PDUs. So I'm not sure the kind of activity that he's referring to. What's the total number of hours, and is there proof for that? So mostly the team that reviews the PDUs would want to see the kind of proof that you have to show that you actually spend this kind of time in the course.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So I guess we'll just keep. There's someone who asked, is credibility of trainer a determinant? I'm not sure it's credibility. It's more where you did the training. And Nelson, are you able to answer that? About how do you know the credibilities of trainers?
So is it the trainer in what perspective?
The trainer where you received the training, right? Stephen, I'm assuming that's what you mean.
Any type of training or just
project? So it should be project related training, project management related training, right?
Yeah, so because I'm asking that question because if it's related to the PMP exam, then it has to be an authorized trainer.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, if it's the PMP and the disciplined agile, then it has to be an authorized trainer. But the rest, they have to be, they have to be credible trainers, and they should be. You should provide proof for that again. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess the biggest discussion is proof. For Cheryl, I've kind of posted for you the screenshot I took. I hope that helps, because of course when you explain what you do, you know your job role. It's very clear to know what kind of work as practitioner you're allowed to do. I'll take the last question from Kikoyo. Can you claim 60 PDU from education only? No. It gives you very specific guidelines for each of your certifications. So just log on to the CCRS. You should be able to see how it's structured. It actually even doesn't let you claim. So once you do it, it either stops you or it doesn't allow you to key in. So there's no issues there. All right. So I can have 4 minutes.
Irene, maybe also in the presentation, I also mentioned that I think per cycle for education, if it's like PMP certification, the maximum under education is 35 PDUs.
Yeah,
So
35.
because you're going to share the slides, they'll also be able to go through and see the requirements on each.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So I think because this one was one of those short sessions, because I know this one you kind of have to do it yourself. I have posted the samples. I've posted the link for the VRMS. So just log into your MyPMI, try out stuff, see what's there. If you do get stuck, reach out to myself or Ephraim, and I'll just leave it at the VP events or the VP education. I'll post them in the email in the chat, and you can just reach out, and any of us can help you, or we will route you to the right person to assist you. Okay. I think there's also a link that has been posted. So thank you guys so much. Steph has also posted the CCR handbook, so feel free to go through it. Feel free to reach out. Your mypmi.org is best place to collect everything you want. We will share the presentation after this. I'll email it out as soon as the session is, as I clean it up a bit, and then send out the PDF version of it. So Rebecca, I expect that. Yes, I think we can stop there. Ephraim, thank you so much as usual. Abdul, thank you for helping plan this. Steph, looking forward to having more volunteers in the space. And Nelson, as usual, God bless for supporting us. And we wish everyone a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you.